Greetings from Bulgaria, my friends. I'm Vulkk, and in this video I want to show you my sign build, my heavy sign build for The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Well, obviously it's for New Game Plus because of the title, and this sign build is extremely focused on only 2 of the all available signs. Why? I'm going to tell you in the video. Before we begin, I would like to invite you to take a look at all of my other tons and tons of video content and written guides as well on my website for The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt and the 2 expansions. Hopefully you'll find entertaining and interesting things. For example, my previous build, which is also my favorite because I'm a type of melee sword fight player. That build was my all-time favorite. Now today let's talk about the sign build. We'll begin with, just like with the previous time, we'll begin with the decoctions. I'm using 2 of the 3 decoctions that I featured in the previous guide, simply because they're absolutely amazing, and sign builds tend to be kind of on the weak side because signs don't have the same effect on New Game Plus as they do in the normal game. I think it's because of the enemies, HP scaling and defenses and such. So what we are using here is Ekimara Decoction, Water Hug, an Ancient Lesson Decoction. This one is the different because it's related to signs and it does boot signs. Now, in terms of gearing, you will notice that I'm using the full Grandmaster Legendary Griffin set. Why? Because the 6 pieces set bonus is extremely important to make this build that powerful. Without it, you will not feel as powerful. That's also one of the reasons why I consider this build to not be very suitable for lower level characters. But having the full set is really crucial here. That's why I've decided to finally let go of the best sword in the game, Iron Dite, which you can obtain in the very beginning of your Tucson adventure. You can absolutely play with this sign build everywhere because I've tested it myself, of course on Death March difficulty, and it plays very nicely. So a couple of words about the invigoration. When at maximum vitality, any vitality regeneration turns into added damage up to plus 50% on your next strike. Even though this is a sign build, I tend to use my weapons quite a lot and I enjoy doing that, and that's why using maximum invigoration, is really important. Plus it applies on signs as well. The Silver Sword has preservation. Again, Armor Stable and Grindstone bonuses never expire. For the same reason, because I do get hit specifically from archers most of the time. Archers are kind of a problem, and having extra armor bonus from Armor Stable that doesn't expire in 15 minutes is really useful. You can opt for any other rune words, but I'll tell you, they're not worth it. I've tried a number of them, not all, and I didn't like them for one reason or another. I'm still using the Feline crossbow simply because it gives me the best stats for my preferences. And down below we've got the superior Black Blood, which is only situational against vampires, but it's an absolutely must-have against vampires in Tucson, especially some of those higher vampires. Wow, some of these fights can be really tough with the sign build. The superior Tawny All is again one of my favorite, and if you have the superior version, you want to play during the night because it doesn't expire in 60 seconds during the night. On the very right side, the armor is featuring the Eruption. That's different. Foes set alight by Igni explode when they die and ignite nearby foes. This is really useful, and the sign build overall is a build that shines. It really truly shines when you're fighting crowds, like for example that famous castle that you're going to see a clip from in the very end of the video in terms of gameplay features. The sign build really benefits from having multiple enemies around you because of that eruption bonus and because of other bonuses to signs in general that we're going to discuss in the next part of the video. A quick overview of the gloves, and you can see what runes I'm using here. These are more or less optional, but you will see that I'm only insisting on Igni and R. These are the 2 main signs that I'm using. Maybe just a quick mention of the trophy. This is obtainable again from Tucson, and it's the most unique trophy both in appearance when it's hanging on the left side of Roach and in terms of stats provided, because it gives you not 1 but 5 different stats. Yes, plus 1%, but it's still good. Moving on to this screen, we're going to talk about the skill points spent, and You can see that I've spent points in the science tree, upgrading primarily the first and the second columns where Igni and Ard are sitting, and this right here, Delusion, is pretty much a must-have. Not so much because it has a good effect in-game for gameplay, but if you haven't finished the story and if you pay attention to the dialogues, in so many different cases you would absolutely love to play Delusion on characters during dialogues and cutscenes. I strongly suggest you to have that if you haven't tried it yet. Give it a go and you'll see that the game becomes much more fun and also more lore friendly, I want to say. If you've read the books, you probably know what I'm talking about. I'm also giving a chance to QN intensity because I tend to use shields a lot. They prevent me from taking any extra damage, and when you're playing with the Griffin set, you're using medium armor. I'm not altering it, so medium armor tends to actually protect you less than a heavy armor, obviously. Moving on to the alchemy, and you would see that there are 3 must-have skills. Let me highlight the heightened tolerance because it increases the potion overdose threshold from 75 to 100% if you spend all 5 points, of course. But this is what allows me to have 3 decoctions and another something potion on the side. The second that I'm using is acquired tolerance, and it allows me to boost my maximum toxicity for every known level 1, 2 or 3 alchemy formula. And because I've explored this game almost fully, there is always something that I haven't seen before. Thank you, CD Projekt Red, for creating this amazing game. I do have pretty much absolutely all of the formulas without one that involves troll, and I haven't been able to loot that damn thing. But never mind, that's probably a different topic. Synergy increases the bonus for mutagen placed in mutagen slot by 50%, and that's why you can see 60, 60, 60, because otherwise you would be seeing 40. Unfortunately, here on the right side, I'm kind of stuck with using Euphoria, just like with the previous build, not only because it's the best one, but because this sign build doesn't work nice with any combat abilities. Honestly, I've tried different variations, and having a combination between mine version of this sign build and any kind of combat skills spent or upgraded, it doesn't really make sense. You want these green things, and the only way to have them slotted is if you have Euphoria, because it will allow you to have the middle here populated with them. You do need these 3 upgrades for the general section. Griffin's Coup techniques, obviously, because you're using the Griffin's Coup armor set. Focus, adrenaline points increase both weapon damage and sign intensity, really important. And the last one is adrenaline burst, increases adrenaline generation by 5%, and using signs will help generate adrenaline points. You do want those adrenaline points to the maximum, of course. When I started my build, I tried focusing on piercing code. It's a lot of fun, but as I've told you, it tends to make the fight so much slower because I don't have Euphoria and I don't have all of these lovely green things to boost me. Of course, you can put them on the sides here, but then you will lose a lot of sign intensity. And let me show you very quick statistics. These are the default stats for me out of combat. Of course, they do rise. And at the end of the video, I'll show you a couple of screenshots where these specifically sign intensity and the DPS from the silver and the steel sword have risen more than this. Of course, the vitality goes higher as well. And then in the bottom right corner here, you can see toxicity is sitting at 79%. And once again, in case you did not notice that, I'm actually using 3 decoctions and the tawny oil, which is of course sticking because it's daytime. Spoiler alert, if you have obtained your own vineyard in Tucson, I highly recommend you before tough battles, you go and rest in your own bed, especially if you have upgraded it, because it will give you good bonuses. And now I'm going to leave you with a couple of fighting scenes and gameplay clips to enjoy this build, and let me know what you think. Which one of the builds that I've shown you so far, the sign build or the heavy combat sword build, is your favorite? Have you tried any sign builds? What is your favorite sign build? Leave me a comment down below, and I hope you have enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, please remember to throw in a like and support my creation. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Pack her up!
Don't let you get away!
You maggot-bummed freak!
Praise be the prophet Leviathan!
You killed him! You son of a tart munch! The whole of us! At once!
Tail!
Slow now, let's not do anything rash.
You maggot-bummed freak!
Damn it.
You killed him! You son of a tart munch!
This shall drag too long!
Take him alive!
Oh, you twat!
Pack her up! The whole of us! At once!
That stench.
Thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the video.